Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. Merry Christmas to everybody. It is Christmas Eve. Happy Hanukkah, which is happening here very shortly. And of course, Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Yes, it is the holiday season. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. It's a chilly morning, and yet a very nice, very nice morning to be here. Anyways, good morning. Let's see here who has arrived. Let's see. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Donna. Let's see here. Good morning, Lauren and Janet. Wonderful to see everybody here today. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we are here to say some good stuff about us and ultimately to continue to have a wonderful holiday season. Big, huge, enormous thank you to Pepper for continuing to make up these cards. We're gonna do what I do every morning and Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. I'm gonna pull a card off the top of the deck. I'm gonna ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are gonna respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do, we are building into our own lives. We are changing up our own experience, and ultimately, we are switching the character of our of our experience. So let's have some fun. Good morning, Maria. Feliz Navidad. A usted también. And let's have some fun and pull a card and say that today I am genuine. I am genuine. I remain true to my authentic self. So I am genuine. I maintain true. I remain true to my authentic self. Are you genuine?
I am genuine and you are genuinely sleepy.
I am genuine and you are genuine as well. We remain true to our authentic
Mwah.
selves. All right, so I'm gonna write that down on the in the comments. I encourage you to do the same thing. I remain true. I remain true to my authentic self. Indeed, I am genuine, and you are as well. We are genuine people. In fact, I am pretty much over the with inauthentic folks. I am pretty much over hanging around with people who are not willing to be their authentic selves, and I am quite experienced with not being my authentic self because I think that for a large portion of my life, I was never willing to be that, which of course meant that since I was unwilling to be my authentic self, I was surrounded by other people who are also unwilling to be their authentic selves. And you know what? I'm just all done with fake folks, and and I'm so grateful for it because honestly, the genuine people who have replaced the fake people in my life have absolutely rocked my world with just showing me how cool people can be when they're being themselves. Fact is that for many years I felt insecure about who I was, and I felt like I needed to just sort of be like the people around me. So, however, the people around me were being, I would just be like them. This didn't serve me at all. In fact, it was probably one of the worst choices that I had ever made. Was trying to meet the expectations of others instead of just being myself, and that it was really born of insecurity when I think about it. I just I didn't think that I was worthy of being loved for being myself. I felt like I could only be loved if I was like the people around me. Of course, over the years, I have discovered that that is completely the opposite. That people love me for being myself, and that I can love them for being themselves. And the turning point for me came. So I was living in Costa Rica, and we were having a party up on top of a mountain in Costa Rica. And when you're partying on top of a mountain and you're in the middle of nature, and as we were gosh, 10 miles away from anything that even remotely resembled civilization. And I remember that I was basically up there, and I was looking at all the people around me. So the guy who owned the property that I was staying on was hosting a music festival, And so all of these musicians and all of these DJs and a whole bunch of other people just came from all over the world and converged on this location that I had been living all by myself for like the past 6 months. And I remember that we were sitting up there, and we were partying, because that's what you do when you do a music festival. This was before the festival had started, but we were all having a pre-party. And I remember looking around me and seeing that every single person around me was completely different, coming from different parts of the world, coming from different cultures, coming from different socioeconomic backgrounds. And yet, even though everybody was completely different, they were all kind of like getting along with each other, and they were all respecting each other for who they were, even though they were all different people. And I remember this thought crossed my mind at that time that said, if all of these people are just being themselves and they are all loved for being themselves, who am I to try to be fake? Who am I to try to be like all of them? Because I realized it was impossible. Normally I was hanging around with pretty homogenous groups. It was very easy to be a chameleon, to blend in with these homogenous groups. And yeah, and that had been my survival technique for a long time. But here I was in a group that it was impossible to be homogenous. It was impossible to be like the group, because the group wasn't like anything that I'd ever seen before, not like anything that I'd ever experienced before. And I realized that I respected all of these people, even though they were completely different. I respected them all for being who they are. And in that moment, I recognized that my fakeness was not serving me at all. It was destroying my life. It was driving me neurotic. I was attempting to blend in with all these folks, but imagine like a chameleon trying to blend in with a kaleidoscope. It wasn't working at all. And so I made the conscious decision in that moment that I was just going to be myself, and for better or worse. And I was like, I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to be myself. And if these people like me for being myself, that's great. And if they don't, well, I guess I just don't have friends. And I started to be me. And I put away the mask, and I just I revealed my true self to this group of folks. And the most beautiful thing happened, which was that they accepted me for who I was, the same exact way that I accepted them for who they were. And I decided in that moment that I was going to continue to be genuine, that I was going to be authentic, that I was going to pursue the path of radical authenticity, that I was going to be myself, and that in doing so, I was going to be able to tell very quickly if the people around me liked me or not. And if they did, great. Then they could like me without liking the person I was pretending to be. They could like who I really was, which was a lot easier than trying to pretend to be somebody. And if they didn't like me, that's okay as well. That was also a good piece of information. That was a piece of information that would allow me to find another group of people to hang out with. Because honestly, would I really want to hang out with people who didn't want to hang out with me? Of course I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't. Of course I would much rather hang out with folks that want to hang out with me, who love me for who I am. And so I found that as I continued that path, that I was surrounded by more and more genuine people. Because even though the people around me are different than me, the fact is that all of us are, we are united by the idea that we can just be ourselves, that we are unashamedly ourselves, that we are unabashedly ourselves, and that we are consistently changing and evolving and growing. And that's what draws us together. It's not that we watch the same shows, or that we have the same ideas, or that we see life the same way, because God knows I do not see life the same way as a lot of the people around me, and that's fine. We are all different people, and in our differences make us beautiful, and our willingness to accept each other's differences make us beautiful. And so I am genuine today. You are genuine too. And we together, we remain true to our authentic selves. And one of the beautiful things about that is that as we remain true to our authentic selves, and this was something I had to really grow into, was recognizing that we don't need to push our authentic selves on the people around us. We don't need to be dogmatic about being authentic. We don't. We don't have to say, well, this is who I am, and like it or leave it, buddy, my way or the highway. But we can say is this is who I am, period, full stop. And if you like me, great. If you don't like me, great. But I still love you. I still care about you. One of the beautiful things about being our authentic selves is that we can decide to like people regardless of how they feel about us. And I remember that when I started to be my authentic self, some of the folks around me did not like that because they were used to me pretending to be them. And so when I stopped pretending to be them, some of them just really took offense to that. And I remember I learned that early lesson that offense is in the heart of the offended, that their offense doesn't need to affect me at all, that their offense was their own coping mechanism and not something that I needed to concern myself with, and that their opinion about me was their business. And so I continue to be genuine, and to love the people who, even if the people don't love me back, that's okay, because ultimately their opinion of me is their business, and my opinion of them is mine. And so I am genuine, and I remain true to my authentic self, and I encourage other people to remain true to their authentic selves. The wake up call is all about helping you and helping me as we go through these affirmations in the morning to remain true to our authentic selves, to just be who we truly are, to recognize that we are full of positive and amazing qualities, and to really lean into those positive qualities and have them manifest in our lives in ways that are congruent with our own values. I'm not here to offer a prescription for life. I'm not here to say do this, get that. I'm not here to say, well, you've got to be just like me, because we're all different people and we're all going to manifest this genuine nature differently. And I sure am glad that we are, because as we do, we get to grow into the people that we were born to become. So I am genuine today. You're genuine as well. Let's remain true to our authentic selves, and let's go remake this world in our own image. And let's go and let's have a very very wonderful holiday season. So thank you guys so much for being here. So good morning again to Susan and to Shauna, to Donna. Let's see here. Good morning to Jan and Maria. And let's see here, who else has arrived. Good morning to Lauren. Let's see here. Looks like that's everybody who's left comments so far. Looks like I've got another man. Looks like I got quite a few people watching on different platforms. Hello to the folks on Twitch and the folks on YouTube. Wonderful to see you guys here today. Thanks for being here. Drop a comment. Let me know you're here. I'll say hello to you. But anyways, I am genuine today. I genuinely welcome all the folks who are tuning in. I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Yes, it is Christmas Eve today. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's also Hanukkah. But yeah, I will be here. My alarm still needs to go off. I still have a desire to be out and about and enjoying my life, and so I will be here tomorrow, even though it's a holiday. And I encourage you guys to come on by if you'd like, and join me. But yeah, I am genuine today, and you are genuine as well. We remain true to our authentic selves. Jan says, proud of the time and space I've taken to discover and redefine myself, and allow and celebrate your authenticity as I am ever evolving. Do like Jan, and I've watched you evolve, and it's a beautiful thing. Uh, let's see here. She says, once I've decided to accept and love myself as is, it became so much easier to accept and love others as they are. Indeed. I love you just the way you are, Shauna. Yes. It's isn't that a Billy Joel song? I love you just the way you are. Let's see here. Can't be offended, Jan says, because I'm not playing the offense defense game. That's from a place of survival. My balance and grounding into my authenticity has me playing the game of thrival. Absolutely, that is how it is. We are not surviving anymore. We are thriving, and thriving people don't need to worry about what other people think because they are thriving. All right. So, anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I This is your daily reminder that you are awesome, that you are a beautiful, wonderful, magical person. Happy Christmas Eve to you. Happy Hanukkah Eve as well. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. I will be here. I'm not so much opening presents at 9 o'clock in the morning anymore on December 25th. So I will be here with the gift of my presence, and perhaps I will be experiencing the gift of your presence as well. All right, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, I love you. I care about you. I think that you are amazing, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, aloha from paradise.